Hello guys, Garcia here, and this is the beginning of a new playthrough on the channel, Brigandine, The Legend of Orsina. So let's start. So I played this game a lot back in the day. I probably finished this game at least like 20 times. It's probably my favorite strategy RPG game of all time. Extremely underrated. Only recently a new game was made with the name Brigandine, but it's with different characters and all that stuff, so it's not necessarily like a sequel. It's more of a remake or a reimagining of the original concept, you know? So the one I played the most so far is Vaynard, which is the king of Norgard, followed by Carleon. So these two are probably I'm not going to play just because I played them a lot. So Leonia is probably the one I played the least. Iscalio. New Almechia, okay. I also finished the game with Asgars, the empire right in the middle right there. But you need to do a combination to unlock them. But they are not that hard to play with because they have a lot of very strong knights, even though they have borders with basically everybody other than Leonia here. Let's try Leonia, it's the one I play the least anyway. So we'll talk about the story as we go here. So basically this game is a tactical RPG, turn-based strategy game. So the idea is you have these rune knights and they summon creatures so they can fight in your army. So it's basically Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics Ogre, but with creatures. So your knight is in the battlefield with them, but you have like dragons and pixies and scorpions and centaurs and lizardmen and all that stuff. So as we go here, we'll be talking about a bunch of different things about the game. Let's play on hard because this game is actually not hard at all. So playing on hard actually makes it better. So for Orsina, the land of the mysterious rune power. Is it the sacred King Calendar, year 214, Almechia? The most powerful country located in the center of Orsina, has finally won the war against the country of Norgard, which is the country in the north. It was believed that Almechia was about to return peace to the continent. However, there's going to be a coup here. There you go. We are in the capital of the Almechia Kingdom. So Zemek is the main general of the forces of the Kingdom of Almechia. So he's talking to Kador, which is his right-hand man. So what is it, Kador? Your Majesty, a year ago you led us to the victory over the King of Norgard, who was the worst enemy of Almechia, yes? So also you consolidated your victory by taking away a part of their territory from King's successor, which is Vaynard. The peace of this continent and the prosperity of our kingdom are all due to your achievements as commander of the Almechian army. So get to the point. So you are right. I'm here to tell you that King, I don't know how to pronounce that, this guy right there, has a warrant for your arrest. It seems that those who are jealous of your achievements have given him this idea. You are being charged with treachery. I don't know if that's true, by the way, during the story. But as you can see, this Kador guy doesn't look like a very trustworthy individual. But it's a more complicated story than this, so we'll be talking about it as the playthrough moves along. So that's ridiculous. I have done nothing but devote myself to the victory and prosperity of this kingdom. How dare they question my loyalty? So they must die for this, Jesus. I have done all the preparations and all I need now is your order. So what? You're telling me to really become a traitor? There is no other way. It is time you killed the king and became the new leader. So he's laughing. Your Majesty? Well, it wouldn't be so bad to become a king after all. Why wait in vain for others to destroy me? I shall fight, since that is the way I live. All I want is power, and I will not tolerate anyone who gets in my way. Kador summoned the entire army. Each time those pigs in the palace realized how much power I had. So yes, sir. So my only concern is that once I stand up and fight for my throne, it will not only cause a disorder in Almekia, but chaos will spread throughout the continent for sure. Do you still wish for me to do this, Kador? We must make sacrifices in order for the king to reign successfully. I'm certain that you can rule not only Almekia, but also the entire continent. So I understand. I'm now determined to fight until I become king, regardless of the disorder it may cause. The entire continent may be burned in the process. So as you can see, not great. So month 2, year 215, a coup d'etat was pulled by the commander of the troops, Zemeckis. This king was defeated and the castle was occupied by the commander's army. The long history of the Almekia kingdom was put to an end and the Esgar's empire was born. They actually have several leaders, it's not only him, but we'll be talking about that later. No reason to exposition dump right now. This is the beginning of a new era of disorder and chaos. The soldiers are led to the battlefield where their fate awaits. Okay. Probably not good. So we are here in Leonia, which is the country we chose. So they are just like lovey-dovey. They are just talking random shit. So isn't it a nice day, Kluf or Kylaf? Yes, indeed. It has already been a year since I was given the oracle and became the queen. So this lady right here, she was actually a villager. She was not a noble, but in this country of Leonia, it's a religious country. So the oracle that decides who is the next king or queen decided that her should like succeed to the throne, you know. So that's basically it. So it's like she has a calling for it, but she never like really wanted to be the queen, you know. This will become clear later on. So I do not believe in any gods, so this guy doesn't believe it. It's her childhood friend, I think. So Kylaf, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for you to get involved. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to think that I became a knight for you. I don't want you to think. I just wanted to become stronger, that's all, so don't worry. Thank you. The duty of a queen is very heavy and I don't feel confidence in myself, really. So your support means a lot to me. So it's a great honor that you feel that way. So I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm going to just wing it. Paternus. Excuse me for interrupting, this guy's very strong by the way, but I have an urgent report to make. What is it? So is something wrong, Bishop Paternus? As a matter of fact, yes, please come with me to the ballroom. Everybody else is already there, so they are going to explain what happened, the coup d'etat, right? So this report just came in. Commander Zemeckis started a rebellion and overthrew Almekia. A new Esgar's empire was built with Zemeckis as the new emperor. So I can't believe it. A great country like Almekia would fall so easily with the revolt from one of its ministers. So Asmit, which is one of her counselors, very strong too. We have no way of avoiding a war at this point. The rebellion of Zemeckis and the fall of Almekia have stirred the hearts of the ambitious people on the continent, for sure. So that means that everybody's going to try to conquer everybody. So does that mean that the land of Leonia will be involved in the battle and in the war as well? Don't worry, because when you worry, it will show in your face. Just there's nothing. This guy is probably not going to say nothing relevant. So sometimes do say nice things. All right, the banter. Hey, what do you mean sometimes? Remember that this game is Japanese, so some of this banter, you can, if you are a Japanese animation fan, you can totally imagine these characters saying this to each other in like super deformed faces and all that, those elements of the Japanese animations. But the Grand Edition, which is the expansion of this game, actually has a bunch of animated scenes, so you can see some of those scenes actually animated, you know. It's very interesting. So Paternus, anyway, it is certain that we can't avoid conflict with the other countries. Okay, so am I going to be able to handle this matter? hopefully. It's been a long time since I played with this particular country right here. So guys, this is the map. So in the right side, in the light green, it's us, Leonia. In the middle is the former Almekia Kingdom, now the Isgaria's Empire. In the north, Norgard, the White Wolf, Vaynard is the king of Norgard. In the left is the Padstow Kingdom, or Padstow. I'm going to call it Padstow. I'm going to explain a little bit about this kingdom later. Caelion is the one in green, in the left. And in the south we have Icecalia. So, a little bit about each kingdom. So, as I said, our kingdom is like a religious country, a peaceful country, a neutral country. Kind of we are kind of Swiss in a way, you know, we are kind of neutral to everybody. So you have the north, so you have Norgard was at war with Almekia, which is the country in the middle. The war ended because the king of Norgard died, and Vaynard, which I don't remember if it was like his son or his cousin or something like that, he assumed the throne of Norgard. The war ended, and in the process, the coup d'etat happened. Zemeckis and the other co-conspirators took the power away from everybody in Almekia, and they formed a new kingdom. And all of the knights of Almekia that did not turn coat, basically, went to that Orange Kingdom, Padstow. So basically, Padstow is now called, as I'm going to show you guys. Padstow is actually called. I should change the speed. I'm going to change it real quick. Padstow is actually called New Almekia. So this is the new country of Almekia. So they have a king that is called King Cole, and this king accepts the prince that survived from the revolution of the Almekian kingdom. And so what happens is that Orange Kingdom on the left is not Padstow Kingdom anymore. Is New Almekia, and is the kingdom that it's basically the main kingdom of the game, so to speak. The main story revolves around this particular kingdom, and you're trying to recover Almekia and eventually the entire continent. Caelion, which is the green one in the left, in the south, is the magic kingdom. The king is a super powerful sorcerer called I'm trying to remember his name, Kai. Literally Kai, K-A-I, basically. So it's a very small country, but it's a very peaceful one. When the war actually starts, New Almekia and Caelion, they become allies. So it's the only alliance in the game. So these two don't attack each other. You can if you want, but the idea is to conquer the entire continent without having to fight each other here. And in the south we have Icecalia, which is your traditional like North Korea style dictatorship. You have a crazy guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I don't know if like Drist or Drist, we'll call him Drist. It's kind of a Joker. Basically imagine if the Joker was the king of a kingdom in a medieval fantasy world. That's it, that's this guy. So the people suffer a lot in this nation here. It's a poor nation because most of the resources go to him, so he can do his crazy shit, you know. And that's it. So that's the basic rundown of the kingdoms and of the situation. So first of all, let me change the speed of the cursor here. In this game, there's actually battle scenes. So if you attack somebody, you go to a battle screen where the characters and the attack is shown. We are going to remove that, otherwise the game doesn't move, it's way too slow. And also when you summon new creatures for your army, this summoning animation also plays. I'm going to remove that as well, because why? You know, this makes it too slow. Swift units, so we can move swiftly through the battlefield. That's it. Alright. Look at the difference in speed, it's just insane. I'm not going to put the max speed because it's actually hard to move. In the first turn, year 215, week or month 3, nobody attacks anybody. So I'm actually going to just move my guys from all of my realms, all of my forts. These forts represent cities. So each one of these cities has a bunch of knights protecting them. I'm going to actually bring everybody in so I can decide my 2 teams. And I'm going to explain why I need 2 teams. But let's move everybody first. Let's bring everybody from Hadrian here. The main problem with this particular kingdom is that there's a lot of not so good knights. So you start very weak. But the advantage is you only need to defend 2 forts, 2 cities. This one, Hadrian, and this one in the north. All the other nations have way more trouble defending their stuff. For example, Almechia just needs to defend this one and this one here from attacks from the north and from the Esgar's Empire. But the problem is they need to defend against 2 at the same time. So they can send like 1 knight from here and 2 from here, for example, and assemble like a super team to destroy here. They usually do that a lot on the hard difficulty, which is the one we are playing. So they need to watch out for that. So this is our organized screen where all of our knights are. So this is the queen. We have been seeing her speak. This is Kyloff, which is her childhood friend. We have Paternus, which is basically the elder statesman here. The real big wig. Is the only cardinal in the game. Is the only one that starts as a cardinal. And Asmit, the bishop, that will eventually become a cardinal. So the idea of this game is you have these knights, you have the creatures, and you have these numbers right here in the left, or in the right, I'm sorry. These blue numbers. This is your rune power. You cannot exceed your rune power. So for example, if I want to put the Phoenix here, I cannot because it's more. The Phoenix, the rune power, the cost is right on at the top, right below the MP is the cost. So 95. So I don't have 95 here. I have a 67. So I can put like this 55, for example, here. And there you go. I still have space. You gain more rune power by drinking potions and by leveling up. And these 2 are going to level up a lot because they are only level 3, both of them. So their rune power will be insane. Probably will be like in the 400s maybe. So that's the basic rundown for now. So the way you get the rune power is by conquering castles. So we have 6 domains, we have 11 knights, and we have 26 monsters that we have summoned. We have 591 mana. Our income, our upkeep, and basically the difference, obviously, is going to be the mana we are going to make per turn. So the more castles you have, the more mana you have to summon creatures. So early on, in the beginning, it's pretty bad to lose monsters during fights or during wars, because obviously you don't have that much mana to replace them with. But eventually, we'll be able to do that. So, as I said, it's been years, many years, since the last time I played with this particular kingdom. But I know that they are the Rock Kingdom, not the Rock in like Dwayne Johnson, but the Rock in... I'm going to show the creature. It's a particular creature that can be summoned in most of the cities. Very strong. It's a big bird. It's the rock bird. There you go. This is the rock bird. And as you can see, I won't just play this during the battle. It's easier. But this is the country of the rocks. So there's a lot of rocks and Phoenix. Phoenix is the evolution of the rock. So this game works by evolution. So for example, if you reach a number 10 with a knight, you can turn him into the next class. And then at level 20, you can turn him to the ultimate class, you know. And the max level is 30. It's very similar to this Gaia. Or I should say this guy is very similar to this one, because this guy came later, right? I don't remember if Final Fantasy Tactics works like that. Many years since I played. I think Tactics Ogre works like that, but also has been many years, so I don't know. So in the first turn, I'm going to move everybody here because I have 11 knights. I need to assemble 2 teams to defend north and south. All right. So let's execute. I already moved everybody, I think. Let me check actually. There you go, everybody is in Talas, which is our capital here. So let's execute. So every turn you have 2 actions. You can move, organize your troops, summon creatures, and all that stuff in the move phase. And in the battle phase, the only thing that you can do is actually attack or choose to not attack and pass your turn to the next month, you know? So there you go. So I moved. So everybody's here. So I'm going to skip the turn because no one's going to attack me in the first turn. But in this turn, I already need to have my defenses probably set up. So inside the castle, the Tower of Prayer. So Asmit, excuse me for interrupting, Your Majesty. So what is it, Asmit? Is something wrong? A messenger just brought this letter from Norgard. So it states that King Vaynard wishes to meet with you. So the White Wolf, really? That's what the letter says. However, he is not called the White Wolf for nothing. We should be careful. I suggest we send someone else instead. Someone else? Why? He has a point. It could be a trap. Well, I will meet with him. So she wants to go. Queen Lioness. Of course, I'm afraid of him, but I don't want him to ignore it. I will go. Okay, I understand. I will arrange it. So there you go. They are meeting at Damas. This is their song, their theme song. So Vaynard, it's nice to meet you. I'm Vaynard, the King of Norgard. So I'm Lioness, the Queen of Leonia. So I'll get right to the point. I would like you to choose who you are going to support. Is Leonia going to support Norgard, or are you against Norgard? What? You've got some nerve to say something like that. Just as I thought, obviously. So King Vaynard, Leonia is a country which has governed itself even when Almechia was in power. I'm sorry, but we cannot support anyone, so no alliances. Vaynard, very well then. I guess you're declaring a war against Norgard. Wait, we do not wish to fight. I promise we will never attack Norgard, so please leave us alone. That's not gonna fly. I told you to choose. Such an indecisive woman like yourself is not qualified to rule a country. Leonia is now mine. So you really wish to fight? Well, if you don't want to become a part of us, we will take you by force. You're being unreasonable. I guess we have no choice but to fight. We, the country of Leonia, declare war against Norgard. Remember that I will never forgive you for involving the people of Leonia into the war. So whatever. No one can say that they are not involved when the continent is in turmoil. Absolutely right. Also, you were speaking with an intense voice when you could have controlled your frustration. Well, I see you on the battlefield. So it's basically saying that she's emotionally inconsistent. So, what a wicked man. Is he gone? So Queen, sometimes you amaze me. How were you able to talk to Vaynard like that? So what? No, I'm just not myself today. So she completely flipped the switch during the meeting. So what's wrong, Lioness? My legs are shaking. I can't keep my legs from shaking. So you've done a good job. Here, lean on my shoulder. So thank you. So why does Vaynard choose to fight? I don't understand. I don't want to fight with anybody if I don't have to. But that's exactly the point that she didn't get. She has to. That is exactly the point that Vaynard was trying to make too. That's why I love him. He's a go-getter, you know. My man. Usually I play with Norgard, as I said. But I'm just trying to avoid it just to, you know. Because I always play with them, so let's try something different. Yeah. But the guy's cool, man. Okay. So I need to set up 2 teams, I'm sorry. Let me explain this as well. As you can see, here I have location, right? So I can actually, for example, click here, go to quest, and I can, for example, let's suppose I'm not using Philo, I'm not using Philo, I'm not using her. She's a cleric, so let's say she's not on my team. I can go send her to a quest. She can come back hurt. She can come back and bring in an item. She can come back and bring in a potion. She can come back and also bring in a new knight. So the idea early on in the game is to send as many knights that you are not using to quests. So you can get even more knights. and eventually some equipment, you know. That's how you get equipment in this game. You don't loot anything. You need to send people into quests so they can, for example, Langborg, this guy right here. I remember him always because he's terrible. Not the actual knight. The knight is fine on the battlefield, but he has terrible rune power, so I basically never use him. So I always send him to quest the entire game, you know. So he comes back, I send him back to questing, and so on and so on. It might take 1 turn, 2 turns, even 3 turns for them to return, you know. So you have to be careful with who you're sending out. Alright, so I need 2 teams. So the important one is this one. What you basically want in your team is decent rune power and variety. You don't want a team of like 3 warriors. You want like a cleric, you want either an archer and a warrior, or a warrior and a spellcaster of some kind, like a sorceress, for example. You know, you want variety. You want things, knights that can solve and kill enemies differently, so you can be more like versatile during the battles, you know. Okay, so what I usually do, first you need to analyze what you have. So our queen is a magical character, so she has high intelligence and high MP. Not magical, she's like a cleric, right? So she has heal, area heal, cure, divine rain, which is a very strong like single target spell. Hex is the amount of hexes, meaning the amount of basically squares of distance that you can cast, if this was like this guy, for example. So this is only 2 squares of distance. Holy Word, which is one of the most powerful spells in the game. It gets like 4 hexes, so it's an area spell that basically only affects enemies. It's very strong. So she's very strong, but she's also a healer, which means that, for example, putting Paternus here with her, even though he's level 20, is a bad idea because they do basically the same thing. Paternus actually also has Holy Word and Divine Ray and the same spells, you know. So the idea is to put someone that can also summon spells. So I can put like another warrior, for example, Charlene here, which is a Lancer. Or what I usually do is to pick a mage. So Chantail, this guy right here. So initially he's going to have low rune power, 168, which is not great. But this is what we have to work with, because this is a very weak country initially. Is the weakest kingdom that you can start with is Leonia. So we have very little in the way of actually powerful knights, you know. So this is one team. So this is, I'm going to call this team A. So, or team queen. This is the team queen. There you go. You know, I want to break free. So we have these 3 guys here. And now I'm going to create my B team. So I'm pondering if I should use a Paternus, because later on you're going to need more teams. So guys that you are not using right now, eventually you're going to use them. I think I'm going to keep... Alright, so I'm going to use him. I am going to use the Lancer. And I'm going to use the Monk, right? It's a very strong defensive team here. So you might be thinking, so your main team has a level 3, another level 3, and a level 6, right? Right. And your B team has a level 20, a level 12, and a level 16. Isn't that wrong? No. Reason being, this game, you need to plan it for the long play. You need to plan it into the future. So these knights are weak right now. When they start evolving and changing jobs, when they reach level 10 and level 20, they will be very strong. They will have way more rune power, and our creatures will also evolve and be way stronger by then. So the idea is that you start weak and you have to plan it for the future. You can obviously start with all of your stronger generals and send your weaker ones to quests and stuff, but I usually do the opposite, because then your knights will evolve basically alongside your creatures, you know? And it's just more fun because you see the queen is level 3. So you can just let her sit in Talus and never use her for anything, for example. But then what's the point? She's so involved with the story, you know? And in the battlefield, there's a lot of banter, there's a lot of back and forth between different knights of different countries. So imagine how cool it will be when we finally fight against Vaynard for the first time with the Queen Lioness on the field. They will talk to each other, you know? It's going to be very interesting. I'm only in doubt here a little bit about the mage because he does have a low rune power. It's going to get better, but not by much. But other than that, as you can see, we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 healers plus the queen, so we have 5 clerics basically. So that's a rough start. And as you can see, as I told you guys before, Langborg, he has 138 rune power, so he's very weak rune power wise. So I usually only use him in like very like emergencies. I was trying to remember the word. So I only use it if I actually need to. If not, I usually just send him on quests. Other guys here, like for example Asmit, Raisin, or even the clerics are not that bad because they will, at level 10, I think they become lectors or something like that, and they start having offensive spells too, because early on they don't have offensive spells. They only have Halo, which gives extra experience, and Heal, which is the obvious one, but they basically have no combat skills, so they don't help a lot, you know? So basically I'll be taking all the creatures from them. When they go questing, they don't need the creatures, by the way. They don't go questing like as a team. They go solo. So you can just remove the creatures and give it to somebody else. Don't delete creatures early in the game. That's a huge mistake that people make. Oh, I'm not going to use this guy, let's delete. No, keep them with the creatures. Eventually you're going to need them. Especially if you're playing on hard. Okay, so these 5 people, I'm not using them for anything for now. So let me work on my main team first. I need this team to be very strong. I'm actually not using the Pegasus here. So I'm going to give her the Phoenix. I'm going to... that's actually very strong. Right there. Angel, Wyvern, and a Phoenix. We still have 20. We can put a Scorpion here. There you go. Just to use all of our rune power nicely, you know. So, he has the Holy Griff, which is the evolution of the Griffin. I'm going to bring in a Giant. I'm going to remove the Fairy. I'm going to bring another Griff. Or Griffin. Gryffindor. Okay, so now I'm going to complete this guy right here. So you need balance. So for example, I have 1, 2 healers. So I don't think I need the unicorn here. So I'm going to remove the unicorn. I still have 58. So let me think. 58. I can bring like a fairy. I don't want another scorpion, they are very slow. Oh, sure. Let's do it like this. Maybe, yeah, maybe the unicorn is actually better here. Yeah. So there you go. I usually organize it like this. I put like the biggest up front, or the flying ones before the big ones, so I can actually understand what's going on here. So I'm going to call this our main line. This is our main line right here. So we have the Griffs, the Giants, the Phoenix, the Holy Griff. So this is our main line. That's a very strong team. creature-wise. Okay, so let's work on the secondary team. Not a whole lot of good creatures left, unfortunately. Actually, I'm going to give you an angel. I already have a Pegasus, so I don't know if I want this. Let's do it like this. So we have... This is going to be a defensive team early on, unless we see an opening and we just attack just to get some XP. I'm going to explain how we are going to proceed later on. There you go. Kind of a unique team. Also very resistant. The golems are actually bad early on. They get way stronger later, but the problem is that they have very low agility, which means that they miss a lot of attacks and they just move slowly overall, you know? So there you go. These are our two main teams for now. So these are the ones I'm going to give it back to some of the knights here. And if we need, we can use them. As you can see, there's a lot of like fairies, the djinn, and things like that. Because early on you need your strong units out first. Later on, when you have more rune power, you can play more and bring more of your weaker ones, you know? Actually, I'm going to switch the Mandrake for the Djinn. I think the Djinn is actually better than the Mandrake. Not actually, for sure it is. So each creature works differently, does different things. Even like two ranged creatures, they do different styles of damage, they reach certain distances and so on. So there you go. Our two teams are ready. So I'm going to send to where? Let me think. Yeah. So I'm going to send my A team to defend the castle in the north. There you go. Here. And I'm going to send my B team to defend the castle in the south. So, and I'm going to send the rest to quests. Even though they are powerful, there's no need for them to stay here doing nothing. Might as well just try to get some extra knights or extra... There's a lot. I think there's like easily 10-15 knights just laying around in the world. And if you send your knights to quests, there's a chance that they can bring another knight. Another rune power knight, you know? Okay, so you can always check your location to see what you are doing. So 3 guys to the northern castle, 3 guys to the southern castle, and the rest of the guys all on quest. So that's our move for this turn. We might get attacked here, but maybe not. In the turn that you move, you cannot attack because you moved. So you can only attack in the next turn. So how do you actually proceed in this game? You think, oh, I should conquer this castle, right? Okay, and then I'm going to conquer this one, and I'm going to keep another group of knights to defend this one, right? And then I'm going to conquer here, and so on, so on. Eventually, you are going to run out of knights. So the main idea of this game is early on, you attack, you conquer, and then you retreat. So for example, I get this group here that can attack next turn. Say I conquer this particular fort here. I defeat the members of the Norgard forces here, and I conquer this castle, right? I can keep this castle, and then what I'm starting to do, I'm going to start to attack and retreat every 2 turns. So I'm here, I'm going to attack here. I conquer this, okay, bring all my troops back, and they will recapture this. And then you think, why are you doing that? I'm farming experience. The most important thing in this game is experience. The most important thing is having leveled and evolved troops and monsters. The more evolved they are, the more skills they have, and the more things they can do during battles, you know? So that's the idea. So the main idea for us to level up this team and the other team is to attack here, and stay here for a while, attacking and retreating from these other two castles here. And for this team, I need to attack here. So every few turns, I can choose which one of the bordering forts I can attack, you know. And then I'll retreat back. And I'll keep doing that until I have enough knights and I'm powerful enough so I can actually start conquering and keeping the forts or the cities, you know. So that's the idea. So we're not going to attack this turn because we can't. Oh, so Kalian's already attacking. Ooh, what a battle, huh? The king of Kalian and his right-hand man against the king of Esgares and his right-hand man. So Philo's quest, in front of a monument. I'm not going to read this quest, by the way, because they are just random stuff. There are a few quests that are unique, that have unique characters, but don't worry, I know all of them. So the moment I see a unique quest with a dialogue and a quest that has a story, I'm going to tell you guys the story. A lot of knights in this game have very unique stories. So most of them I know by memory. So I will tell you guys when you guys need to pay attention. Kusanagi. Oh, she dropped the Kusanagi. Oh, damn it. Okay, sometimes that happens. There you go, so she got hurt, unfortunately. Landboard. Beautiful waterfall. Rainbow. A water fairy. Oh, nothing happened. So there you go. So most of the time, nothing's going to happen, to be honest. Oh, Gallon wand. Hey, Kylov, haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Gallon, what are you doing here? Well, look who decided to come along. Hey, Baleen. So, hi, Kylov. So, what are you guys doing here? Can't you say anything better than what are you guys doing here? It's really nice to see you. Nice to see you. We did come here for vacation. Okay. Nothing that useful. We're here because... Jesus. They are just like a bunch of silly friends talking about nothing. She's being at tsundere here. We came here to support Leonia. We are rude knights, just like you. There you go. We came all the way to support you guys. You should be more thrilled. Well, if you had said this in the beginning, probably. I'm sure Lioness will be happy too. Okay. Are you still calling her Lioness? Yes, she's the queen, right? What's wrong with that? She's the queen of your country, you know. So I can call her whatever I want. So, well, I guess. Escort us to the queen. Okay. So these are former friends from their village days. Not former friends. They are still friends, but they are back now. And they are also knights. So we just got 2 extra knights here. Trouble is that both are very weak. I could totally just like use Baleen here instead of our mage, because she actually has more rune power, so she's going to... And actually the archer is very strong class. But I always want to have like a mage in a party. Not in a party, in an army, you know? Okay. So I'm going to send them to quest. So Philo cannot go questing because unfortunately she got hurt. So I'm going to send Baleen, Yalawan, and Langborg all to quests because I don't need any of them right now. There you go. So this is the finally the turn we are actually going to see some action. So let's save first. Let's create a new save file here. Saving is very important. More so in this game than most other games. Any strategy games in which you have to take like 10,000 decisions to decide a battle, and if you take one wrong one, you can lose. You should probably keep saving, you know? Oh, almost. So let's see what we have to deal with here. So we have Pelomides, or Pelomidas. We have Morholt, and we have Noye, or Noye, she's a cleric, so we have this to deal with. They have a very strong like first line, but their second line is not that strong. But they do have 2 pixies, which is a problem because they cast Protect, so it makes them way harder to kill. But this is the best we're going to get here, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to attack here with our main team here. Not always you win, sometimes you lose, but you not like lose your knight, you just retreat, you know, if things are not going well. Here is going to be way harder because we are going to have to attack the actual leader of the nation here and his right-hand man. As you can see, they have a bunch of troops, even though they are not that good. They have, the number is very high. So the idea here is eventually I'm going to attack here too. You can execute multiple attacks per turn, but I'm going to wait for the wars to start. So hopefully this castle will have weaker defenses, because they only have 2 castles to defend as well, just like us initially. So that means that everybody's here, right? But eventually they will have to start attacking and sending knights elsewhere. When that starts, we're going to start attacking here too. Okay, so everything's set up. We are already attacking here. Oh, so Almekia invaded Esgars and lost by a lot. Oh, there you go. They are already attacking. That was quick. Thought it was going to take a while. Not really. So Lioness, Caliph, and Chantel. So no banter this time. So in this game, folks who start are always the higher level. So the higher level ones. So if you have a guy level 30, he's always good to start. Basically that's it. It's by level, as far as I remember. This stage is pretty rough to move your troops around. Okay, so let's move our Phoenix. Phoenix always moves a lot. Every flying unit, for the most part, moves a lot. Okay, this guy probably is not going to help us ever. Let's send Kylo ahead here. The Jedi here. Alright, so there you go. So the idea of this game, you need to bait the enemy to attack you. So you need to form a defensive line, just like in American football, you know, and you need to bait them to come to attack you. As you can see, this is shining blue, right? This is our rune area. So our knight is here, he's giving us power to move until here. If we move to the next hex here, we are going to be very weak because we are going to be far away from our knight. So you need to always stay under the influence of the rune area, you know, that's the idea. Okay, so let's bring our pony. What's the name of that character in Dungeons and Dragons? Uni? The unicorn? I don't know if that's the name in English. I know that's the name in Portuguese. But we call her Uni instead of Uni. Okay, so the Holy Glyphs here. These are our 2 strongest units, the Holy Glyph and the Phoenix. We cannot lose them at all. So we will try our best to not lose them. We can lose everything else for the most part. We can replace them, but okay. Alright, so as you can see, we are in a rough spot because we have 2 knights on one side and we have 1 knight on this side here. But this is the idea of this stage. All stages have like different geographies, and you have to deal with them all differently. So let's create a barrier here. As I said before, you need to have a barrier. Problem is, our unicorn is going to get attacked, but it is what it is. I'm going to take a bullet for the team, you know. The moment they start sending one of their monsters to attack us, the battle starts, basically, and they will all start moving. So they start all at once. So if we are close enough, they will instantly get aggroed to will attack us, you know. So the idea here is to bait them in, as I said. So let's see who's going to start. Protect, as far as I know, is the only ability that you can use without starting the actual war. So there you go, they didn't attack us yet. They are waiting for us. That Hydra is going to be a huge problem. Very strong. We are casting all of Protects in the Knights, which is smart. Okay, so I'm going to move until... yeah, right here. So I'm going to put the pony here. I'm going to put the mage here. And... I'm not going to attack yet. So sometimes you use one particular strategy during one fight and it works. And sometimes you use another strategy and it fails miserably. So it depends on, you know, your luck sometimes. This is our strongest unit. These two right here. We need to move Lioness closer. Reason being, she has that very strong spell called Holy Word. And that spell gets a lot of people at the same time, but we need to be closer. There you go, they are starting. The dragon is going to be rough to fight. Oh no. Critical hit. That's never good. The lizard is actually a aquatic type creature, the lizard man. Luckily she's a cleric, which means she's very weak. She doesn't do a whole lot besides healing, you know. So you win this game basically killing the knights as quickly as possible. Just laser focus on the knights or a particular unit you want to kill. Luckily, since we have the Holy Glyph and the Phoenix, if we can get a knight on open field, we can kill them pretty easily. Just like that, for example. That's a horrible move. You should never do that. Hopefully the angel is going to survive here. Oh, come on. The giant hitting a Holy Glyph is just rough. Because they don't have... Oh, man, that's awful. That's awful. That's really bad. But that happens too. The reason why they were able to do so much damage to my angel here is because both the demon and the barbarian here, the berserker, both are the black elemental and not black elemental. They have the black element attached to their attacks, and obviously the angel has white one. So because they are different elements, the angel took a lot of extra damage because of that, you know. So flame is not going to help us a whole lot here, to be honest. But at the same time, I don't think I have a choice. We are not going to win from this side. This knight right here just needs to resist for a while here, while we win on the other side. We need to kill that knight of theirs first. That's the idea. So let me heal. The giant is another unit that gets way better later, but early on is just rough. Because they are strong, but they miss a lot of attacks. Yeah, I'm going to actually have to attack the dragon here. I can move and attack her knight. The knight, actually, the lady. The problem is, if I do that, my formation here crumbles, my wall. And we don't want that at all. She's going to probably heal the dragon too, which is fine. It's not a surprise. Alright, she's close enough, I think. Actually, let me move. Oh, unfortunately, the Griff is not with her, it's with Kylov, so I can't move him. That's okay. I don't think I should attack the knight yet. Yeah, I'm going to actually attack the demon. It's the most dangerous unit right now he has. The demon actually has a spell called Curse, which is the Divine Ray, but the opposite element. Very strong single target spell. Very strong. Luckily, their mage will have to move a little bit more to cause damage to us. You need to be close to use your area spells effectively. Alright, Kylo for now can't do anything. Because I'm actually going to kill the fairy here. I can't move him to the front lines, unfortunately, because he's very squishy. This is going to die really easily. I'm actually going to kill the fairy just to stop the protects. If the enemy loses enough units, they start retreating too. That also happens. Let's do it like this. I don't think my giant will survive here, to be honest. Probably going to die. Oh, she didn't heal for some reason? Why did she move? That's weird. Never seen that before. Okay. He's going to use Protect, probably? Oh, no. Oh, they didn't do anything that I thought they were going to do. For some reason. There you go, the mage moved. That's our main source of concern, is actually the mage. That's not a mage, that's a druid, I think. I don't remember. Yes, that's what I didn't want it to happen, but it did. So basically, this guy that attacked Kylov here is actually the next class that Kylov is going to have, basically. So he's fighting his future, basically. But as you can see, the AI in this game is not that smart. They left the knight in the middle of my guys, which is a horrible idea, like something you basically never do. Okay, so let's use thunder. So, not thunder, I think a regular flame should be enough. So I can kill the dragon and get the XP for my guy. Usually what I would do in this situation here is I get the unicorn, I would use Halo, but the thing is the unicorn hasn't evolved yet, he's not a Pegasus yet, so he doesn't have the spell to give me extra XP. So you usually use the spell to get extra XP on your knights, so they can kill a creature, sometimes a very strong creature, and get a boatload of XP, or before they kill another knight, you know. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that, so I'm going to just use Flame and kill this dragon. Hopefully I can get a level out of this. I did. There you go. So I'm going to use Heal again. Probably on the giant, I think. The unicorn here is probably going to die. But early on, it's very difficult to protect all of our units, you know? It is what it is. I'm not going to attack the lizardman, even though the damage would be higher, because he also gives more damage to me too. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Alright, now let's focus on this side. So I need to deal as much damage to this guy here as possible. I'm actually going to attack his knight here. For some reason, they didn't protect the guy. Now I'm actually going to attack this guy here. And I'm out of the rune area here, but I think it's the correct way here. They are not protecting their troops effectively here, or effectively. Oh, damn it. Basically never works. As I said, the giants, especially the golem 2, early on are just absolutely terrible. I'm not going to attack here, I can't. Not strong enough. Okay. I thought I was going to have enough to kill this guy. I can like try, I'm going to show you the Holy Word spell. I don't think I can give him 100, even though we are like from opposite elements. I don't think I can deal this much damage against this guy. I'm pretty sure I can't. So instead of doing that, wait. I still have 2 other attacks here. So let's focus on this knight for now. Oh, that's a very good hit. That might be the difference between winning and losing here. So let's use the Phoenix. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. That's it, man. I think we're going to win. Okay, so I'm going to use Divine Ray. There you go, we defeated the guy. That's a lot of damage. So they lost a knight, and we got 2 levels out of it, and a demon. There you go. So what happens is the moment they lose a knight and lose a bunch of troops, they start just retreating if they see that they can't win, you know. They always get a few... Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. We're going to lose a giant for sure. Or not. We almost killed Morholt, which is a very dangerous guy. But he's going to retreat. There you go, guys. That's our first victory. Every time you win, you get 200 XP for every single troop that survived the battle. So everybody's going to gain a bunch of levels. The higher one to evolve here is going to be Kylov. For sure. Because I can't send him to the front lines yet, but he needs to go there to get XP, you know. So another quest for Langborg. Free drinks. 2 agility points, sure. Doesn't help a lot. So he's already back again. This guy is just loves to travel, you know. So I'm going to send him on a quest again. Actually, let me use the item. Every nation starts with 1 item that you can use on someone. This one gives 3 intelligence. Actually, I'm not going to use on her. I'm going to use on this guy. The more intelligence the mage has, the better. See, below his name is written expert. That means that when he reaches level 10, I can already switch classes. So I'll pick a druid, just like Morholt in the last battle, you know. But as you can see, he already got a little bit of extra rune power. We lost the angel, but we got the demon. That's actually funny. We actually lost a level 1 angel, but we got a level 4 demon because we defeated the knights. And sometimes when you defeat knights, some of the creatures stay. They can't escape, you know, they fail. That's very interesting. So there you go. It's funny. Lioness, the purest of all the pure, actually has a demon in her army. Very funny. But basically that's it, guys. That's how the game works. That's the basic framework of the game. I hope I was able to explain most of the things in my broken English to you guys. So we'll be playing Brigandine for a long time because, as I said, we need to attack and retreat, attack and retreat. So maybe even if I get like 3-4 attacks in the same video, it's going to take a while, you know. So this series might be a little bit long. But as I said, it's a great game. I'm going to do my best to every time like a new knight or someone talks to another person and that hasn't been explained during the game yet, I am going to provide the backstory if I remember, if I know the backstory. That's one of the perks of like playing the same game throughout the decades, you know, many times. You just learn the story of the characters and you have your favorites and stuff. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.